Say, kids, what time is it?
It's kind of like watching TV, but, in your car.
104.7 The Cave. Jake Stevens in the studio. It is Dark Side of the Stream, episode 150.
Yeah, that's a lot, man.
I mean,
still going strong.
Yeah, I know. It's funny because I never thought that we would really make it this far, to be quite honest.
Not at all. Not when we first started this nonsense.
But we did, and to celebrate, I had a band put together a song for us so we can celebrate our 150th episode together. Dark Side of the Stream. Oh man, no, this will be the theme song for every celebration going forward. Thank you to all you listeners for sticking with us as we continue to either get better or worse. Either way, today on this episode of Dark Side of the Stream, we are discussing Jay's pick, how to become a cult leader on Netflix.
Thinking that the Hood is a good cult leader.
That's why he wore his hood
today.
today.
That's why I wore it today. I'm trying to find my outfit.
And that's why I wore my dead shirt, because that's also a cult, if you want to be specific about it. Either way, I guess we'll start off with, let me ask you this.
Yes, I would make a great cult leader.
Yeah, honestly, you say that, but I know that you're deep down
100%. All those traits, charismatic. People like to listen to to what I say or do. They follow my lead. I'm telling you, it hit home. It hit home. You might be the first member of my cult, Mike.
No, definitely not.
I need a good side man.
I'm definitely not gonna. Okay,
a good side man.
Let's walk this back here for a second. What did Uncle Ben tell Peter Parker?
Oh my gosh,
dude!
I'm not a cartoon guy.
First Tom
with great
fan.
Power comes great responsibility.
Let's go!
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's the same exact thing I tell people when they ask me what it's like to meet this person or that person or famous people, whatever. I tell them the exact same thing every single time, and that is this: with power, with money, with fame, all that stuff does is this exacerbate what's already inside of you. So, for example, if you're a good person and you get a lot of money or you get a lot of power, you give back. You help out when you can. You take the time for others. You realize that the reason you are in that position is because people put you there and that you can never lose sight of that.
Yeah.
Same thing with the cult leader. They could have been cool. They could have been awesome dudes. They could have done great things. They could have helped their people. But instead, they use that to meet their ends, which whatever
always
that
kind of
was.
end up the same game plan.
Yes, exactly. So you say that as a joke, but deep down, I don't think you got it in you.
I wouldn't be an evil one.
I mean, maybe you just be some kind of weird sex cult
leader.
It'd
be me and a bunch of chicks.
That's not what's any different than what's happening right now.
That's what I'm saying.
You just haven't.
I think I'm there.
You just haven't put a name to whatever your cult is. Maybe it's just Machine Gun Symphony. Maybe that's just the name of the cult.
The Jay Stevens.
You can't put your name. You can't listen. No cult was like there wasn't the Charlie Manson Girls Hour. It wasn't the Jim Jones People's First. It was a name, and then that was their leader. So you got to come up with the name, dude. I think Machine Gun Symphony really is the name of the cult.
Maybe that's the cult. I mean,
that's the cult.
Come show up.
It's already happening by definition.
I go out there and do my sermon.
People pay you.
And they pay.
They put money in your pants, and they pay.
They try to do it with me too.
Yep.
So
there you go. There you have it. We figured it out. Jay actually is a cult leader.
See,
and with great power comes great responsibility, Jay.
Great.
So don't make them kill themselves. We're going to talk about this.
That's the worst idea.
Yeah. Well, in your cult, yes. In other cults, not so much. We'll talk about that next. Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave. 104.7 The Cave. Mike, the intern, Jay Stevens back in the studio. It is Dark Side of the Stream, episode 150. How to become a cult leader. Okay, so we've actually put that Jay Stevens is a cult leader to bed.
Cool.
Machine Gun Symphony is the name of the cult. Ladies, if you want to join, you know where to be. Wherever they're playing live.
There this weekend.
You can see them whenever they're doing their thing and decide whether or not it's worth it. But more specifically, this documentary pulled out some of the heavy hitters. Of course, Charlie Manson. Of course, Jim Jones, the blind Japanese guy who did the serum gas, dude. He was a trip and actually had a ton of power. David Koresh. I mean, they went down the line, and you could honestly say that in some cases, certain religious leaders, whether they're Christian or not, are cult leaders, whether or not they say it or not. Just really comes down to your definition of that. But let's start with Charlie Manson. The story about him is the craziest one to me because ultimately I think the guy was just a little dude who just wanted to hang out with a bunch of young females in the desert and bang. That's not what they wanted. So inevitably it just became a flashpoint and ended up happening what happens. I implore you that if you are at all interested in learning about the Charlie Manson series story, whatever you want to call it, there is a docu-series podcast called Last Podcast on the Left, sorry. And they do a 4 or 5 part series about the whole Manson family. And it is very insightful, not only about who Charlie Manson was, what actually happened, who actually killed people, and the fact that they literally put a guy in jail for the rest of his life without any evidence.
He did nothing. And
he may or may not have been in the room when there was a killing, but not those, not the ones he was convicted
there is
of.
A documentary coming out, a movie coming out. It's a book that's already out called Chaos. This guy spent 20 years researching, digging, and it turns out like the reason he kept getting let out of jail was because he was like CIA was giving Manson the acid to.
That's also another theory about what was happening in that scene and what the government was doing too to its own people.
Yeah.
Take the Unabomber, for example. He was part of that CIA project.
Too. Yep. Part of the
and that's fact.
Too. Yep.
And then that caused him to lose his mind, go live in a shack and start mailing bombs to people.
So there's some layers.
Thanks a lot, Uncle Sam.
There's some layers.
Maybe you're the ultimate cult leader. Wouldn't that be something? Either way, we're figuring it out how to become a cult leader. That's my bad.
I just vanished.
I think we just pissed off Uncle Sam. We'll be back maybe Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave. Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens back in the studio. Dark Side of the Stream, episode 150, how to become a cult leader. Okay, so we talked about old Uncle Charlie. Now let's talk about the bad one. Not to say that Uncle Charlie wasn't bad. That's a whole nother one, in my opinion. That deserves its own category. Jim Jones. Awful individual. Wow. If you really want to get your emotion, I mean, they go into it in this docuseries, but like there are audio recordings of the last moments of the People's Temple in Africa. Like while that crew is going to shoot the senator and the film crew, there are people in that thing arguing with Jim Jones saying this isn't right. And kids are crying. I mean, it's horrific to listen to. I don't know why I did, maybe morbid curiosity, but I wish to God this day that I had never listened to that audio because I still remember it. And it left its mark on me. It's horrific. But the lesson in that is be careful who you trust and be careful who you put forth in front of your family. I mean, God, in that circumstance, you got people willing to offer up their kids.
Yeah, insane.
Without a second thought.
Yeah.
I know we don't get religious on this thing, and we try not to get religious on this podcast.
But there's been a few wacky ones we have discussed already, like the Koresh one. We discussed that documentary.
I'll draw a line in the sand right now. I don't care who it is, what God, what religion, where, who, whatever. I'm not sacrificing my family for you. At all. Well, it's not happening. I will burn this entire world down.
There we go.
By myself. Before that happens.
There is the Mike the Intern we want.
You screw with me and my family, and I'm gonna make everyone pay. Yeah. That's the way it is. You call that whatever, but that's just. And so to me, it's just like you see this, and that's the heartbreaker. Because
it's weird.
Those kids did not have a choice in the matter. So screw their family for putting them in there. I mean, that just God, it breaks my heart every single time I see that. Every time I'm reminded of it. It's just like, golly, why would you do that as a parent? They didn't have anything else. And again, they had a crazy cult leader that convinced them otherwise. And that sucks because it happens all the time. It's happening right now. Just look at politics, baby. You could say some of the political leaders on either side. That's a cult.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The whole COVID thing. Yeah.
Everything, dude. It just blows my mind. Where is common sense? It's definitely lacking in this docuseries.
We're bringing it back.
We're trying our best
right here.
We will give you our reviews
the
next.
Movement starts here.
Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave. 104.7 The Cave is Springfield's pure classic rock. I'm Mike the Intern, and this is Jay Stevens. Dark Side of the Stream, episode 150. This week we discussed how to become a cult leader. Jay's pick. I will give this, honestly, like probably 2.5 cult leaders because not that it wasn't interesting information. I knew all about this stuff.
Yeah,
and I think they like Hollywooded it up, like almost like those like TLC shows like Betrayal Next Door or The Husband I Knew or whatever. It was literally like all those
Lifetime
shows.
version, yeah.
So it was almost as if they were kind of like hyping up.
Yeah.
You know what you get what I'm saying here?
Yeah,
like they were always like saying it was lightly, like they were trying to like whitewash all this
make it
stuff.
kind of funny.
And it was like, nah, man.
Yeah, I know. I'll go 3. Just it was average, but I just
too long.
The title got me,
Well, yeah. I mean, I was like, hell yeah, this is great. As soon as I got in, I was like, okay, you guys are going to try and Hollywood this up like you do.
Long, for sure.
It was way too long, and it's just all these. It's just
they keep getting us with these long ones.
Really stupid.
Darn it.
Well, on that next one, while we were, I believe it was watching the Donna Summer documentary, I kept seeing these previews pop up for another documentary, which is the one we're going to watch next week. It's called Betrayal: The Perfect Husband.
Betrayal: The Perfect Husband.
It's on Hulu, and it's definitely going to be an interesting story. And I can't wait to ask you all kinds of questions.
I think I'm closer to being a cult leader than I would be to being a perfect husband.
And that's why I picked it. Either way,
got that going for me.
We'll discuss it. As always, you can watch these live on Facebook every Thursday, 9 a.m. or on YouTube, or listen to them during my show at 9 a.m. or Jay's show at 6 p.m.
Or come over and join the cult. We'll watch it together.
Yeah, go join Jay's cult, and if you need anyone to help you get out, you can contact me.
No,
Mike,
you're going to be the right hand. Every cult leader has a right hand man who helps.
Well, we'll have to figure out what my back end's going to look like.
You're the muscle. I'm the charm. You're the muscle.
Yeah, so I'm the second guy that I'm definitely not going to be that guy. I'll tell you that right now. This is
our cult right here.
I'm not getting any fringe benefits as of late, so I don't know if I'm going to agree to that. Either way, I'm Mike the Intern. This is your cult leader, Jay Stevens, reminding you we watch movies, so you don't have to.
We tell you what to watch.
Outside of the stream on 104.7 The Cave.